Revolutionary greetings. It's Haki Kweli Shakur coming at you today, man. Um, been wanting to make this video for a long time, so I thought I'd go ahead and knock it out real quick. Me and the comrade, man, we've been having conversations back and forth about this topic for like the last month or so, man, because of some, debates that's been going on, and seeing cats using these terms. It's kind of confusion between these two terms, but it's really not too much confusion because I think certain cats are not conscious of the meaning of these two terms. So I think they be using the terms kind of loosely without knowing the true, definitions and the difference between the two terms. So this video is about these two terms, and what these two terms are: duality and contradiction and contradictory. Duality versus contradiction. And I think cats get the two terms confused, man, because I see a lot of cats, they be trying to use the term like towards, like great leaders of ours, like Malcolm X, Omar Wally. I heard this term contradictory been used on Tupac, you know what I mean? Because they said 1 minute Tupac was on some revolutionary line stuff, then the next minute he kicking thug like. But I think cats just don't understand the science of duality, man. And you're getting the two terms confused because you have to know the meanings of these two terms and the difference. And as far as duality, man, duality is a term that's been here since the existence of creation, man. Duality exists in the universe since the beginning. You see what I'm saying? So duality is a term that you must understand, and you'll see why you can't be using that term contradictory when you're trying to use it on certain leaders or certain people or in certain situations that people, be speaking or doing or moving in, man. You know what I mean? So I'm here to, separate the little confusion between the two terms, man. And what is duality? Duality is sort of like, I'd say like a quarter. You know what I mean? You could take a quarter and it's one coin, right? On one side, you probably have the slave master face on it. On the second side, you probably got some other type of, symbolism on it. But those two symbolisms may be opposite of what that symbolism on the other side is talking about. And that symbolism on that side is just showing the other side of the opposite side of what's on the other side of the coin meaning. You see what I'm saying? It's sort of like good and evil, man. You got good and evil. Good is good, evil is evil, but they both come from the same source and the same origin. You know what I mean? Like consciousness, man. It's like two sides of your consciousness, man. So what does duality mean? Duality means an instance of opposition and contrast between two concepts and two aspects of something called dualism. You know what I mean? So it's two opposites of the same concept and two opposites of the same aspect of the origin of whatever those two concept aspects are coming out of, man. And these two aspects and two concepts are exhibited in all creation. So that's telling you that it's been here since the beginning. That's why it's a universal law. See, the universal law has duality in it, out of the 7 universal laws, man. And the number 4th universal law is the word they call polarity, man. That's the word they use instead of duality, but it's the same word with the same meaning. And what does polarity mean in the universal law? Polarity means and refers to the opposition or the opposite of two sides of the same coin, like I just told you, man. It's sort of like one bird. You know what I mean? You got one bird, you got two wings, but you got one bird. You know what I mean? So it's like one wing could be meaning something else. The other wing could be the opposite of what the other wing is. You know what I mean? But they all part of the same bird. You know what I mean? So that's what duality is. You know what I mean? Like, this can go even all the way to astrology with the Gemini. What does the Gemini symbolize? The Gemini symbolize two different, how can I put it? Two different characters. You know what I mean? Two different, characters that are opposite of each other in one person. Like one minute that person could be this, the next person could be that. They try to call it bipolar, but I don't believe in such thing as bipolar. Because bipolarism ain't nothing but polarity. You see what I'm saying? And what is polarity? Polarity is the two opposites of the same coin. You know what I mean? So when Tupac was talking about thug life and the Revolutionary Act, he merged those two acts. He merged those two ideologies together. You had the revolutionary side, which you got from the Panthers. You know what I mean? That's part of his character. That's part of his consciousness. Thug life. This is the generation that we're living in. You know what I mean? Thug life is, you know what I mean, this era in this time. You know what I mean? It's showing the life that the youth and the street combatants, street orgs, you know what I mean, or just a person, period. It's what we're living. It's what we're, you know what I mean. It's that lifestyle. You know what I mean, of this time. Because you can't use, you know what I mean, what was in the past. You can use what's in the past, but you got to come with new ideas and new creations and new ideologies in order to show what you're trying to prove to the people in these times, and the youth of these times. You can't be using outdated stuff to try to help fix problems in this time. You know what I mean? So that's what thug life and the revolutionary, you know what I mean, New African Panther side of Tupac came together, and what you had, he created, which is thug life. Thug life is the Panther and the thug lifestyle together, man. You know what I mean? So nothing he did was contradictory. It just was aspects to him and his consciousness, man. He's a Gemini, you know what I mean? And Gemini represents the highest stance of duality. So nothing he said was contradicted. Same with Malcolm X. Malcolm X, you know what I mean? Same shit, you know what I mean? He was merging stuff together from his consciousness, and it could be opposite of what he was. You see what I'm saying? And he merged that together to try to reach the people, to fix the people, make the people relatable. So you got to do stuff that's relatable in the era and time that you are. That's the, I don't want to say compromise, but it's sort of on the lines of compromise. But you got to, if that's the you know, plan and strategy that he used. So you can't say it's contradictory, man. You know what I mean? Because the yin and the yang, the Chinese philosophy, the same thing. What is the yin and yang? They're opposite of each other, but they're part of the same origin. You know what I mean? But they're opposite in meaning. Like good versus bad. You see what I'm saying? And in the Yoruba tradition, you got their BG twins, man. The BG twins symbolize the same thing. The thing that's deep about the BG twins is they were considered two, they were two people, you know what I mean? Twins symbolize the ultimate duality. You know what I mean? They're two peoples, but the Yoruba tradition believes that the BG twins were one soul. So that's basically telling you that they both come from the same origin. You see what I'm saying? One soul. That's duality, man. Same coin, two opposites. You know what I mean? That's what the BG twins in the Yoruba system represented. And all this stuff here is just laws of the universe, man. They're concepts of the universe. They come from the stars. They come from the universe because it's always been there, like the meaning said. It's exhibited in all creation. So that's meaning everything on earth has an opposite. Humans, plants, animals, you know what I mean? Everything in existence on the planet Earth has opposites, but are part of the same origin, duality. So don't get it twisted, you know what I mean? Contradictory is a whole nother term, man. You know what I mean? And what is contradictory and contradiction? Contradiction and contradictory means one cannot say something that is and that is not in the same respect and at the same time. And that's dealing with truth and falsehood. So it's like if I'm saying so, I can't say both of them at the same time and it mean the same thing. You see what I'm saying? In respects to the same thing that you're trying to talk about or elaborate on. That's even dealing with mathematics or anything, period, that you're trying to elaborate on as far as respect at the same time. You can't do it, man. Like, that's just like me saying something that's truthful and false and trying to say it's the same thing at the same time. That is not duality, man. That's even in your actions daily. Like if I'm doing something physically, you know what I mean, that's truthful, and I'm doing something physically that's falsely, and I'm trying to say that both things that I'm doing are the same thing, that's contradictory, man. You know what I mean? That's not duality. Contradictory is saying something and doing something and that's totally not the truthful answer of that, you know what I mean, and reflection of that, and I'm doing that too at the same time and trying to say that it's fact or false. You can't do that, man. You know what I mean? Like that's the science of it. The science of it to know. You see what I'm saying? You gotta know. That's what science means. Science means to know. So when cats be using that term contradictory, watch what they're saying. Cause 9 out of 10, they have no overstanding. They don't have no conscious level of the term duality, man. You know what I mean? And if they do know about duality and contradictory, 9 out of 10, they don't know the difference. So that's why they use the term loosely. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, know what you're talking about before you label somebody, especially our great leaders, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean, our revolutionaries, all our great people who are here trying to put in this righteous work and who putting it down on the front lines daily, man. You know what I mean? And don't get it twisted. We most definitely had bourgeoisie leaders on the front line who were contradictory. Al Sharpton, the Jesse Jackass Jacksons, and all those type cats. Yes, sir. You can label those cats contradictory. You know what I mean? Because they proved it through action. You know what I mean? They tried to do both. They try to do this side of the coin. They try to do that side of the coin and try to say they both mean the same thing. They did that in action, verbally, everything, man. So those cats are contradictory. But when you try to use that term contradictory, as far as cats like Tupac, Malcolm X, you know what I mean, all our real, you know what I'm saying, combatants of the get down, you got to sit down and overanalyze that and better critique that better by knowing the difference between duality and contradictory, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in the science of duality, man. And duality is far more, you know what I mean, the truth than contradictory, because duality is part of the universal creation, man. That's the universal law. So, man, I'm gonna shut this video off on that and let you cats marinate on that. You know what I mean? All the cats who want to walk around and use that term contradictory all loose. You know what I mean? And you cats are not conscious of what duality is. You know what I mean? So go do your studies on the word duality and the science of duality, man. And it's consciousness, man. All this stuff is in your consciousness, man. It's in your nature. It's in your DNA. It's in your character, man. So when I'm dealing with duality, that's even for anything. Words have duality. Like I said on the Conrad show, words have duality, man. One can mean something, it could mean the other. You know what I mean? Two meanings in one word. Or symbolisms, like the swastika in Ethiopia and in Asia. The swastika was a good universal symbol, man. But when the European got his hands on it, you know what I mean, he added a meaning to it, which was racist. You know what I'm saying? The Aryan Nation cats. You know what I mean? So they got their meaning for it, and it has ancient meaning before that. You know what I mean? So this is why it's important to do your ancient studies, man. Because everything in ancient times can most definitely show you the truth in modern times. And I'm going to sign off right here, man. Haki Kweli Shakur, man. See the Carlos A. Cook. See the Gabriel Prosser. VA District. August 3rd Collective, man. I'm out. Salute.